Hi there, I'm Isha Hanspal and I'm back after that little break with what we call here at WION The Speed News. Here in the next 30 minutes, we get you all the possible updates from around the world. So let's dive straight in. Ukraine says Russian drones damaged grain facilities at Odessa. Russia claims it has shot down 3 Ukrainian drones near Moscow amid a surge in aerial attacks. As per Russian governor, at least 1 person has died due to the shelling by Ukrainian forces in the border region. This is the latest attack on export facilities since Moscow scrapped a deal allowing Black Sea exports. Chinese Defense Minister Li Shangfu has attended the 11th Moscow Conference on International Security. On the sidelines of the meeting, Li held talks with Russian Defense Minister. The two exchanged views on cooperation between two countries. Li has vowed to strengthen China's pragmatic cooperation with other militaries. Addressing the security meeting, Li said that the global security initiative put forward by Chinese President Xi Jinping has received a positive response from the international community. The Speaker of Indonesia's Parliament, Bambang Sutatso, has said that it was important to discuss means to delay elections amid natural disasters, wars, or even pandemic. Indonesia, which is the world's 3rd largest democracy, holds national elections every 5 years. The country currently has no framework to delay elections and therefore politicians are calling for the constitution to be amended to allow such postponements. The idea of delaying elections has not been free from speculation, as it is seen as a move to allow President Joko Widodo to stay in power beyond his term. Former FBI agent pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy in a New York court on Tuesday. Charles McGonigal, who led the FBI's counterintelligence division in New York, admitted to working for Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska while he was under US sanctions. He pleaded guilty for the charge of conspiracy in exchange for prosecutors dropping other charges. The former FBI agent received $17.5 thousand for his work from Russia. McGonigal pleaded not guilty to 4 criminal counts, including sanction violations and money laundering. Around 2,000 soldiers and 200 armored vehicles and 100 planes and helicopters marched through the streets of Warsaw on the occasion of the Polish Armed Forces Day on Tuesday. The event constituted the largest military parade in Poland since the end of the Cold War. The NATO member country flexed its military muscle as a message to both Moscow and voters ahead of elections in October. Spectators said that the presentation of military equipment made them feel safe and is a show of the strength of the Polish army and unity among NATO allies. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited brigades fighting Russian forces in the Zaporizhia region on Tuesday. The visit was aimed at boosting troops' morale. During Zelensky's military tour in the Zaporizhia region, he also visited a hospital where 200 wounded soldiers are treated every day. The Ukrainian leader inspected the wards and equipment, talked to the staff and combat medics as well as wounded servicemen and discussed their needs. India's moon-bound Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft fired its engines for a short duration on Wednesday morning. The craft was put in a near circular orbit
Here
of
we have a majestic
153
liftoff
x
of LV
163
rocket
kilometers.
carrying India's prestigious
Next
Chandrayaan-3
milestone
spacecraft.
will be the propulsion module and lander module going their separate ways on Thursday. The spacecraft is expected to touch down on the lunar surface on August 23rd. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his death anniversary on Wednesday. PM Modi said he played a pivotal role in boosting India's progress and taking it to the 21st century in a wide range of sectors. The first ever Prime Minister from the BJP, Vajpayee is credited with popularizing the party beyond its base and running a coalition government successfully for 6 years. He also pushed reforms and boosted infrastructure in India. Santiago Peña took oath as the president of Paraguay outside the government palace in the capital on Tuesday. The ceremony was attended by several regional leaders and Taiwan's Vice President William Lai. Spain's King Felipe VI attended the inauguration ceremony along with presidents of Brazil, Argentina and Chile. Peña won the election earlier this year and put the long-ruling Colorado Party in power for 5 more years. The presence of Taiwan's Vice President affirmed Peña's push to stand with Taiwan during his term. Peña also praised former President Horacio Cartes during his inaugural speech and promised better business reforms. Egypt hosted the foreign ministers of Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia and Syria for an important meeting on Tuesday. The meeting was a part of an Arab ministerial-level committee on Syria. This is the first meeting in Cairo since the war-torn country was welcomed back into the Arab League in May. The 22-member Arab League agreed to reinstate Syria and to ending a 12-year suspension and bringing the country back into the mainstream. Western sanctions against Assad's government remain in place and prevent Arab nations from investing in the war-torn nation. The death toll from a powerful explosion in the Dominican Republic's capital rose to 10 on Tuesday. More than 50 people were injured in Monday's explosion at a bustling commercial center in the city of San Cristobal. At least 36 injured people were hospitalized. Firefighters searched through smoldering rubble as people scrambled outside hospitals looking for missed loved ones. President Luis Abinader visited San Cristobal to meet with those affected. The president said that an additional 11 people were missing and that authorities were still trying to extinguish the fire amid collapsed buildings and charred vehicles. A baggage handler's strike left more than 10,000 passengers stranded in Argentina on Tuesday. The strike also caused the cancellation of at least 60 flights in several airports. Workers of the state-owned company Intercargo started the strike on Monday in protest at an inter-union conflict with the airport services company Swissport. Intercargo provides baggage transfer, dispatch and delivery services in the boarding areas. After 20 hours of protests, the baggage handlers lifted the strike at midday after a new meeting with the authorities of the Argentine Labor Ministry.
Cuatro cancelados en LATAM. 10.000 pasajeros día en el Ministerio de Trabajo, en la sede de ALEM, se van a reunir convocados por la ministra de Trabajo.
The run to become the president of Ecuador continues to heat up in the backdrop of the assassination of candidate Fernando Villavicencio. Christian Zurita, who is running in place of his friend Villavicencio, said that he would better equip the police to fight crime and shore up social programs. Like his predecessor, Zurita is also an investigative journalist known for tracking alleged corruption. Meanwhile, Luisa Gonzalez said that she will use the $2.5 billion from international reserves to shore up the struggling economy if elected. Gonzalez continues to lead the polls ahead of the polls on August 20th. Forest fires are raging in Spain's Canary Island. Eyewitness footage shared on social media show wildfire engulfing the island. The local weather agency had warned earlier of a significant increase in temperatures in the region due to an air mass of tropical continental origin. An uncontrollable wildfire that had started on the July 15th at La Palma has forced the evacuation of at least 4,000 people. This comes amid Europe battling with the effects of scorching temperatures, with July being the hottest month recorded on both land and sea. Hawaii's Governor Josh Green says at least 101 dead amid incredible destruction. The Maui wildfire has been recorded as the deadliest fire in a century. Mobile morgue units arrived on Tuesday to help Hawaii officials working to identify the remains of people killed in wildfires that ravaged Maui. Coroners, pathologists and technicians continue to use the use of tables, X-ray units and other equipment to identify victims and process remains of the victims.
Filing footage, lots of footage is getting deleted, trajectory.
At least 2 people were killed in a fresh landslide after several houses collapsed in India's Shimla on Tuesday. Friends and family of missing people were seen anxiously waiting for their loved ones as rescuers continued to scrape through the debris. The incident was one of the deadliest landslides in the tourist hill town. Earlier, at least 57 people were reported dead in the state as torrential rains rattled the region and triggered massive landslides. Canada wildfires hit the town of Fort Smith in Canada. Airlift began for hundreds of people from remote villages threatened by wildfires in order to take them to safety. Wildfires continue to threaten Yellowknife, which is the largest city in the region.
Super duper orange, black, looks like that.
The death toll from a landslide at a resort town in northwestern Georgia rose to 26 on Tuesday. The town lies in a remote valley 140 kilometers northwest of the capital of Tbilisi. The town lies on the confluence of 2 rivers. Search operations continue for 7 people still missing from the landslide that occurred on August 3rd. Rescue workers attempted to shift logs and clear away entrenched blockages as part of the ongoing rescue and clearance effort. The landslide occurred at a small resort in the Caucasus nation northwest, famous for vast forests and mineral water springs. In business news, inflation is surging in the Central European country of Poland. As per the Central Statistical Office, inflation has increased to 10.8%. Residents say the price of vegetables sold at the market has almost doubled from last year. Meanwhile, people in Niger have begun to feel the toll of travel and economic sanctions imposed by the West African bloc ECOWAS amid the ongoing coup. Life has become increasingly expensive in the capital city of Niamey. Niger has a population of 25 million people and is considered one of the poorest in the world. But despite sanctions and its implications on the people, coup leaders have rejected ECOWAS's demand to release the ousted president Mohamed Bazoum. As per humanitarian agencies, sanctions and suspensions of development aid are expected to have a dramatic impact on living conditions for a country already under heavy strain. Bolivian Catholic pilgrims observed an annual rock-breaking rite on Tuesday. The ritual called upon the Virgin of Urcupina to bless them with good fortune. Worshippers collected rocks for blessing in a ceremony that brings together indigenous culture and Catholic rituals. The story originates from the traditional account of a poor shepherd girl who saw a vision of Virgin Mary while flocking sheep. The shepherd girl was instructed by the vision to gather rocks and return home to her impoverished family. The rocks miraculously turned to silver, and the peasant family was saved from a life of poverty in the tale. In some other business news, Infosys is among the top gainers in the Indian stocks today after the tech major bagged a $1.6 billion deal from Liberty Global. The deal is aimed at scaling the entertainment and connectivity platforms of the digital communication firm. This is Infosys' third mega deal this year as companies increasingly turn to AI and cloud to transform their businesses. However, brokerages are not positive on the development. Remember, Infosys has reduced its revenue guidance for the rest of the year as margins have taken a hit. Missed payments on investment products by leading Chinese trust firm and a fall in home prices have added to worries that China's deepening property sector crisis is rapidly stifling what little momentum the economy has left. Zhongrong International Trust Company, which traditionally had sizable real estate exposure, missed payments on dozens of investment products since late last month. China's concerns about outsized exposure to property and risks to the wider economy have grown over the past year. The latest development adds another blow to the world's second largest economy, which is struggling to kickstart growth after the pandemic. Ola Electric, India's largest electric scooter manufacturer, launched its most affordable rides to entice buyers as the price gap between e-scooters and gasoline models shrinks. With the introduction of the S16 and S1X Plus models priced at just under $1,200 and $1,320 respectively, Ola Electric is solidifying its position in the growing EV landscape. With the new platform, they've managed to slash production costs by 25%. This latest development comes amid Indian government's plans to grow EV production to 70% by 2030.